welcome to another video for Cinema 9-1. This week's video is all about mixers. What is a mixer? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a piece of hardware that mixes multiple audio signals into an output, which in this case would be a stereo recording. Here we have a mixer that has multiple XLR inputs into it. There's one here, and that is the microphone that you're hearing right now. There's another one here, which is plugged into a shotgun microphone. There is another one here, which is plugged into a wireless lavalier microphone. And then I have one more if I had a fourth microphone, like if I had another shotgun I wanted to use as a boom or another lavalier. And how this is different from what you have is that your Tascam or Zoom only has 2 XLR inputs. And on top of that, while you can plug 2 microphones into it and you can adjust the levels of each of those signals independently as a mix, it's much more difficult because you're just doing all of it through a menu screen and through an input level button on the side. Here, we have up to 4 microphones we can plug into. And as you can see, each below each XLR input is a column of knobs which ends with what we call the fader. So channel 1, which is what I'm talking into, goes down to this. Channel 2, which is the shotgun microphone, goes down here. Channel 3, which is the lavalier microphone, goes down here. Channel 4, which doesn't have anything right now, goes down here. And you'll see that there are other inputs here. These other inputs take stereo feeds, and a lot of stereo feeds come through what we call 1/4 inch cables or 1/4 inch plugs, which look like little headphone jack plugs, but are much wider. So in this case, I have a signal coming from my computer going into, it says right here, line in 910, which would be this one. Now, you might say, how come these numbers are 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then these say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Think about it for a second. These are mono signals. See, 1 microphone, 1 signal, 1 microphone, 1 signal. This, 5 and 6, look. 5, 6, left and right. 7, 8, left and right. So these are stereo signals. So if you had, say, like, I don't know, maybe you're like a DJ, or maybe you were mixing my voice with some sort of stereo music, like coming from a laptop, you would plug it into one of these stereo paired inputs, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, 10. For example, I am plugged into channel 1 right now. You hear me, and when I turn this down, you won't hear me. When I turn this up, you do hear me, and when I turn it up all the way, I will be clipping probably. And we'll get into this in just a second. So I have my computer playing some music right now. Let me go ahead and turn that on. So it's playing, but you're not hearing anything. Why? Because I have my computer going into line in 9 and 10. Here is the fader, which fades the audio signal of 9 and 10 up and down. As you can see, it is all the way down. Watch what happens when I turn it up. And you can hear me as well. So if I was talking and you wanted it to fade, my voice to fade out and the music to fade up, maybe say doing like a live mix of a television show, and you know how most TV shows end with people saying, and good night, and then the music fades up. Well, what happens is someone's at a mixer and the person says, well, good night, and then their microphone gets faded down and the music gets faded up like this. Thank you for joining us. Good night. Or sometimes when people are talking, the music will fade down before they start talking, but maybe it'll just fade down to a level that is just kind of nicely playing underneath the person that's talking. So this is what a mixer can do. Yes, like I said, you can do this on the Zoom or the Tascam, but you're limited to 2 inputs and a very limited and what's the word I'm looking for? Non-ergonomic input level button. Here, you can very smoothly turn the music up or down, turn the voice down or up. And when you have multiple people in the room, which we'll do in just a second, then you can have multiple microphones going, multiple music sources coming in, and fading them up and down to your liking. And what's happening is they're all going out through this fader right here, which is called the main. All these channels are coming in, but watch this. This is the signal that's going out. These are the channels coming in, and this is the signal, the main, going out. So no matter how I have this mixed, if this main is all the way down, but when it's up, then you're going to hear the voice, you're going to hear the mix, you're going to hear everything nice. And so that's what a lot of people will do, because think about it. Your recorders can only record either a mono or a stereo signal. If you have a mixer, you can have as many inputs as you want, but you're limited by the recording device itself. The recording device, in a lot of cases, can only record a mono or stereo signal. So what you do is you do a live mix. You plug in all of your audio sources. In this case, I've got 3 microphones and then a music feed for my computer in 1, 2, 3, and then input 9/10, the stereo input. And I've got a nice mix going on. And it's all getting sent out to a recorder, recording a nice stereo mix that I am mixing on the fly right now. I'm turning my voice up, and I'm turning the music down. I'm turning my voice down. I'm turning the music up. And then at the end, I can just turn it all down by turning the mains down. See how that works? So that's what a mixer does, basically. It lets you plug in multiple channels and mix multiple channels at the same time and output it all through a main fader to some sort of mono or stereo recorder. Now, a lot of recorders, such as this one, this is the Zoom F4, will let you go one level above this. You can plug up to 4 microphones into the Zoom F4. You can mix the Zoom F4 with little knobs on it, just like this, except it's very small, very portable, can hang around your neck like a handbag or something. But the difference is it will record a stereo mix, but it will also record what we call ISO tracks, or isolated tracks of your audio. So you don't just get a live on-the-fly stereo main mix, you also get separate recordings of channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. That's what we call the ISO tracks. This is an isolated track of my voice. This is an isolated track of this shotgun mic. This is an isolated track of this lavalier mic. And this is an isolated stereo track of the music that are all getting recorded to their separate files. And then at the end, you also have a file that is a main mix of all that stuff. So at the end of the day, when you're done recording, each take will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files. It'll be one isolated file, that's this microphone, one isolated file, that's the shotgun mic, one isolated file, that is the wireless lavalier mic, one isolated stereo file, that's the music you're hearing, and then one mixed file that is a mix of all of these. And what happens is, at the end of the day, when you're looking at dailies, I've heard that term a lot. Like, a lot of times the director and the producer want to see what was shot today. They're going to want some audio with that video that they're looking at. Do you think they just want to hear only this microphone or this microphone or just the music track? No, they want to hear a mix of everything. So the audio recordist, at the end of the day, you'll have all these files on your computer, but the director and producer just want to hear the basic rough mix that you did so they can hear everyone's microphones. If you give them this file, this isolated file, or this isolated file, or this one, they're only going to hear those specific microphones, and they're like, how come I only hear, Harrison Ford here? Where's Mark Hamill? Where's Carrie Fisher? Where's everybody else? Oh, I'm sorry. I should have given you the mix file. Then you can hear everybody. Okay, my bad. Swap it out. So that's what's great about a mixer, is that you can mix up to however many inputs. You can have 4, 8, 12, 48. Generally, you want to have it under 8, because once you get over 8, then you start having to have a big console and then a desk. But if you have it 8 or under, you can usually kind of keep it, sort of like strapped around your neck or something like that. But, there's lots of situations that call for more than 8, like if you're recording music. But if you're recording like dialogue or a scene on a set, unless the scene has a lot of people in it, you want to have a mixer that is definitely under 8 inputs so you can be kind of portable with it. If you actually have a mixer and recorder, like the Zoom F4, for example, you get all of this plus the added bonus of being able to record each channel onto its individual ISO track or isolated audio file, as well as a mixed audio file. So in my opinion, that's the best bang for your buck. Get a mixer/recorder. But a lot of times what you'll get is a mixer and then a recorder that's separate, and then you will have to be working hard during the shoot, making sure that you're getting a good live mix.